Namaskar friends, welcome to the session of Quality Hub India. Myself Aryan Vishwakarma, and in this session we are going to learn about some of the important skills and traits which are needed to become a successful auditor. Before starting the program, let me request all the new viewers to subscribe to our channel Quality Hub India and also explore our other channel Quality Hub International. In both the channels you are going to have lots of learning on different aspects of quality management, lean manufacturing, Six Sigma. And if you want to further explore the contents in details, then you can explore our online training cum certification program. You can visit our website www.qualityhubindia.com, or you can download our app from Google Play Store and Apple Store. You can study from the convenience of your home, get certified, and you can excel in your career. In case of any consultant services or any training program at your organization or for any other collaboration activities, don't forget to reach us at our mail ID, or you can directly ring us. Now let's start the program. And if you want to join our affiliate program, if you want to become a faculty at Quality Hub India, or if you want to write a blog for us, then also you can visit our website and you can explore the details over there, fill the form and you can reach us. Now let's start the program. So friends, any auditor wants to become a successful auditor, and to becoming a successful auditor, there are lots of skills and traits which are needed, because an auditor needs to visit multiple sites, need to audit different processes, need to audit different practices. He need to understand certain business aspects. He need to understand various levels of complexity. He need to have understanding about certain product processes and other customer specific requirement. So he must be having certain levels of skills to understand all these things, and there would be some challenging scenarios also which needs to be managed by the auditors efficiently. So we have listed here some of the critical skills and some of the critical traits which are needed, and I am very sure if you can acquire these skills and traits, then you can also become a successful auditor. So the first important skills an auditor must be possessing is strong and clear communication. So friend, an auditor can be an internal auditor. He can be also conducting audit at suppliers end, that would be second party audit. You can be also working as a third party auditors. Okay, so there could be different kinds of auditing. An auditor might be performing his task. Okay, so wherever he is communicating, whether it is an internal communication or external communication, he should be very much clear about what exactly needs to be communicated, how that needs to be communicated. Okay, and clarity on his communication should be also there. He should be very much strong as far as the command on the subject also goes, because until unless he is having command on the subject, the communication would not be clear. The second important aspect is knowledge of the process. For an example, if you are conducting an audit in a manufacturing setup, let's say it's a forging process or a plating process, and you do not have any knowledge about the product, any knowledge about the process, then you would not be able to justify to the role, because you would not be understanding the technical aspect of the processes. So to becoming a successful process auditor, okay, it is very much important for the auditor to know the process. So any auditor, before planning for conducting the audit, first of all he need to identify what are the area he is going to cover, what are the criteria has been decided for conducting the audit, and based on those criteria, whether he is competent enough, he is having knowledge about the product, about the process, about the management system or not. So knowledge of the process is very much critical for any auditor. Third one, systematic working methods. This is a very important skill for an auditor, because if the auditor is not systematic, he would not be justifying to the flow of the auditing, because every auditor must be following some flow of the auditing, how the linkages from one clause to other clauses are established, from what clause he should be moving to the next clauses, or how he is going to connect to the linkages observed during the audit as an evidence. So he should be very much systematic about the working methods. For an example, if you plan to conduct an audit at the supplier end, So in a systematic manner, you should be making a plan of conducting the audit, how the flow of the audit should be going, who all should be engaged in the audit, how many clauses or what all clauses, what all content is to be reviewed, whether there is a requirement of a check sheet, because there could be some exclusive special processes going on at the supplier end for which you might be requiring some check sheet or checkpoints. So in a systematic manner, you should be identifying all those requirements pertaining to the product, pertaining to the process, pertaining to the customer specific requirement or pertaining to the legal requirement. So if all those things are systematically identified in beforehand and maybe in certain cases communicated to the suppliers so that supplier can prepare in advance and your audit would be successful. So systematic working method is also very much essential part of our auditor. The fourth important element is time management skills. Because in my personal experience, I have seen lots of auditors while conducting audits, they are not very systematic, and whatever time they have decided for conducting the audit, that would not be sufficient for completing all the audit elements. So you need to be planning your timing very properly. You should be knowing what all are my area, which all clauses I am going to cover, which all processes I am going to check, what all documents I am going to verify, whether I need to go to the shop floor, if at all I am going to go to the shop floor, how my flow of audit is going to be there. So all those things should be planned properly so that you can manage your time properly. And in fact, if you are working as a lead auditor, then also whatever pool of auditors are there with you should be managing their timings also, how the auditors are distributed their activities, how the things would be reviewed, so that you can efficiently manage their time and overall the audit objective can be met. So time management skills is an important part for any successful auditor. And the fifth important element is independent, because in many of the cases the auditor needs to manage lots of different kinds of activities. So he needs to be independent in conducting audit, preparing the report. He must be knowing how to operate computer. He must be knowing how to operate certain other aspects of the business. For an example, if he is going to the shop floor and if he needs to use some instruments, if he know that how the instruments are dealt, how the instruments are handled, what are the relevant technical questions I should be asking, then independently he can perform the audits. Maybe post the audit there might be requirement of some analytical activities. So if the auditor is analytical, then he can perform the analytical aspect of the audit also independently. So independent means he should not be getting dependent on others for small activities. Yes, in certain cases he might be requiring some subject matter expert, because any auditor cannot be expert of everything. So you need support from different subject matter experts. But independent basically means that for small things like typing, for document preparation or for report preparation, for email writing, for email communication, use of internet, you may not be depending on other people. And the next important element is skill in identification of opportunity for improvement. So an auditor should be skillful in identifying opportunity for improvement. He should be thorough about knowledge on processes, products and systems, so that he can, by looking at the document, by looking at the records, by looking at the activities happening on the shop floor, he can quickly identify opportunity for improvement. He can also be able to identify if there are conformity, if there are non-conformity, if at all there are some non-conformity, under which clause this is falling. So all those aspects he should be able to relate, and he can easily identify opportunity for improvements or the non-conformances. The next important skill is IT skills, which partially we have already discussed, like operating computer, using internet, maybe using some other important software like MS Excel or PowerPoint, because in many cases you need to prepare some PowerPoint presentation for presenting to your management, presenting to the customer, or presenting to some regulatory bodies on the findings, on the NC report. Somewhere you need to type on Excel sheet. So if you do not possess the basic IT skills, then you are going to have problems. And the eighth important skill is analytical skill. In fact, this one also partially we have discussed. During the audit, we collect data, we analyze data, and we ask questions. So lots of informations are gathered. those information needs to be analyzed to be presented in a proper form for management's review or for any other implemental purposes. So, analytical skills are critical aspects of any internal auditors. So, the internal auditors, he understands various analytical tools, he understands certain softwares. Say for an example, he know how to use Excel, he know how to use Minitab. So, he can use those softwares for various analytical activities, for making his presentation more visible, more lively and more informative for the management to understand, to conclude on certain aspect. So, these are some of the important skills which are needed for any auditors to become successful. But beyond these things also, there are some other aspects which might be required. Let's say for an example, leadership skills, maybe on motivational skills, because you need to motivate people on certain aspects, you need to lead a team of auditors, you need to plan. So, proper planning and execution, that skill is also very much important. Okay, somewhere you need to negotiate also on certain aspects. So, negotiation skills are also important. So, these are some of the important skills, and more skills the auditors are possessing, he would be more successful in his career.